So welcome everybody to the next Friday Night Live of the season. I'm Terence Morris, your host. We're going to be hearing shortly from the Reverend Shirley Carlton. There's a great lineup tonight, and we have Lauren, Victoria, we've got Penny and Budwin, we've got some Irish dancing, Dave Wilson, and of course Johnny Mack and the band. And Carrie can't be with us this evening, unfortunately, but there will be other opportunities. So I'm just going to sign off temporarily. If anything changes, I'll chat to you and let you know if the program changes. And you'll see me with the band very, very shortly on stage.
Now it's on, and Jim is wanted on the stage.
And Terence.
There he is, right there.
Oh, Jim, there you are. And Terence, whenever you can join us, we'll ask you to come on down as well. So I don't know, you sound like a rowdy bunch already, and we haven't brought out the what is it called, fake beer even. So we're going to begin in a moment. Welcome to our Friday Night Live special edition for St. Patrick's Day. It is so wonderful to have you joining us here in person, as well as the folks who are online. Welcome. We are so pleased to have you here. I think I've met everyone here, but for those of you that I haven't had the opportunity to meet, my name is Shirley Carlton, and I have the privilege of calling myself the minister here at St. Andrew's Church in Amherstburg. We have an amazing lineup for you this evening. So whether you like to tap your foot along or you know the songs, you are welcome to sing along with us. I know you're going to enjoy an evening of great entertainment with song and with dance. And what Irish gathering would be complete without a wee story? So we're going to have someone share some words of narration with us, Penny Ann. Yeah, Penny Ann. So just waiting for all leprechauns on board. Oh, we've got them all. There we go. Okay. And Lauren's on her way up as well. So again, welcome. Without further ado, we're going to get on with this. I guess it's in Gaelic, it's crack, which is fun and joy and amusement. I think that's the understanding. So
Basically
let's
gossip.
Oh, not gossip. No, John. We're going to get cracking, so enjoy.
So as Lauren makes her way to the stage, just a comment. This is somewhere between music and improvisational theater. So be patient. We'll get it. And we're going to invite Kate up, I think. Here she is. She's waiting in the wings to hear us. She's going to decide, are they good enough or not?
So we're all ready? I forgot to introduce Johnny Mack, but I guess he just doesn't need an introduction.
I get my chance later.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever Lauren's good to go. So whenever. No, we need to see Lauren.
Ready, guys?
I think so.
Okay. 1, 2,
the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She's calling 1, 2, 3, please don't tell me who is she. Albert Mooney said he loved her, all the boys are fighting for her. Knock on the door, ring on the bell, oh my true love, are you well? Out she comes, white as snow, rings on her finger and bells on her toe. Oh, Betty Murray, girl, she dies, she doesn't get a fellow with a roving eye. But they'll be all when I get home, the boys don't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, stole my comb, but that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is according 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high, there's nobody traveling through the sky. She's as sweet as apple pie, she'll hear her own and by and by. When she gets a line of her own, she won't tell her ma if she gets home. Let them all come as they will, Albert Mooney sings us still. Tell me ma when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair, sew my comb, but that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is according 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he likes her, all the boys are fighting for her. Knock on the door, ring on the bell, oh my true love, are you well? Out she comes, white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Oh, Betty Murray, one wheels die, doesn't get a fellow with the golden eye.
Tell me,
Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is according 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she?
Well, having totally exhausted ourselves, we're going to take a little break and let Lauren demonstrate her many skills on many instruments. Lauren Victoria.
How's the volume? Hear it good? Okay. Just don't want to blow you out. Thank you. The next one I'm going to play for you is a tune that is an Irish tune. I learned it off from a CD that I was given by an Irish band. My meme lives in, she lives in Amherstburg, but she lives in the in Erio in the summer at her trailer park there. So she spends a bunch of time on the beach, and probably about 10, maybe even 15 years ago now, there was an Irish band that came from Ireland. The name was Dara Folk, and I was little at the time. I had my little pink violin with me, and they got me up on stage. I think we played Will the Circle Be Unbroken at the time, but for getting up and playing with them, they gave me a CD. So I went home that year, and I put it in the radio and in the CD player, and I listened to it on repeat. And I ended up learning a couple of their songs just by listening. So then that following summer, they came back, and I said, hey, look what I learned, and I got up and played that song with them, so I'll play it for you. It's one of my favorite songs to play. It's called Innisor. condenser should pick up, or I could just, we'll pick up some of the sound there. Okay. Sing along if you know the words. Get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to cross the water. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. Come get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to leave tomorrow. Heave away, and we jolly boys, we're all bound away. Jolly's Eve away. You promised that you'd marry me, but how you did deceive me, heave away. Jolly boys, we're all bound away. Sometimes we're bound for Liverpool, sometimes we're bound for Spain. Heave away, Jolly's Eve away. But now we're bound for Old St. John, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, Jolly boys, we're all bound away. Liverpool, sometimes we're bound for Spain. Heave away, me Jolly's heave away. But now we're bound for Old St. John, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, oh me jolly boys, we're all bound away. Sometimes we're bound for Liverpool, sometimes we're bound for Spain. Heave away, Jolly's heave away. But now we're bound for Old St. John, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all bound away. Heave away, jolly boys, we're all bound away. Heave away, jolly boys, we're all bound away. Need a drink after that one. It's just water. I didn't sneak any green beer in here. I drank 16 doubles for the price of one, trying to find the courage to talk to one. I asked her for a dance, not a second glance. My night had just begun. So I drank to the Father of the Holy Ghost. I'm kneeling at the altar of my nightly post. I must have raised a glass, not the first or last. Come join me in this toast, because the old black rum's got a hold of me like a dog wrapped around my leg. And the old black rum's got a hold of me. Well, I live for another day. Hey, well, I live for another day. Well, the Queen of George Street just came walking on by with some guy who don't care that she stood in line since 9:30 and spent 3 hours on her hair. Her friend is looking at me with an evil grin. I think a bloody racket might soon begin. I must have said something to the George Street Queen. The boys are joining in, because the old black rum's got a hold of me like a dog wrapped around my leg. And the old black rum's got a hold of me. Well, I live for another day. Hey, well, I live for another day. So I drank all of my money and I slept out in the rain. Every day is different, but the nights are all the same. You never see the sun of the old black rum. All right, I'm going to sing you one last song for the evening. This is a song that I released this year. It is out on all streaming platforms. It's a song that was written by my grandfather, Dan Gerard, back in 1987. It was never released. It was recorded, but only the family members had access to that tape. So I was thinking about how I was going to kind of start off my career in music, and thought what better way than to record one of my grandpa's songs. So I'm going to play it for you tonight. If you like it, if you're tech savvy and got Apple Music or Spotify, you can find it on there. If not, I do have some CDs that I brought with me, $6. I will be just at the back if you're interested in purchasing one. But this is called At One Time.
You were all I ever wanted at one time. You were handsome, you were caring, you were mine. Now look what time has done to me. I'm just your used to be, and you were all I ever wanted at one time. You were all I ever dreamed of in my mind. I thought you felt the same, guess I was blind. And now I sit here all alone with a hurt I've never known, 'cause you were all I ever wanted at one time. Now I'm trying to get over the hurt and the pain. I know nothing lasts forever, but why did we have to change? You were all I ever thought of. Now I find there's an empty spot I just can't leave behind. I just sit alone and pray I'll get over you someday, 'cause you were all I ever wanted at one time. You were all I ever wanted at one time.
Thank you, Lauren Victoria. And if you were dazzled with that as I was, you can learn some of those licks at Musicland. She teaches there. Lauren Victoria. All right. Okay, band, here we are. Is Terrence coming down? Yes, we will. Where's Jim? Well, absolutely.
So whose idea was it for us to follow Lauren? She's okay. She's a pro. There we go. That feels a little that we hear.
This one.
And while we get set up here, we're going to dedicate this song to Alwyn Coughlin, who was born in the County Down, a star of the County Down.
I guess.
Whoa, whoa, we got a problem. Feedback, there's some feedback.
I do the first verse.
All right.
I do the first verse.
Yeah, but what didn't you come?
It's a train wreck, just keep going.
Ready, go.
Let's fill in again.
1, 2,
Okay.
Let's count it again.
2, 3, 4. Something like that.
Okay, let's just
One,
try it
two,
one more time.
Let's-
Third
I'll just
time's
come
a
in.
charm, right? We have some Irish people out there. Third
We're
time's
doing
a
the
charm.
last two lines.
there you go.
No maid I've seen. All right.
Okay.
So let's count us in, and this is it.
Banbridge Town, down in County Down, one morning last July. From a Bowling Green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elster, I shook myself for to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cave, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the County Down.
As she onward sped, sure I shook my head and I looked with a feeling rare. And I said I to a passerby, who's the maid, the nut brown hair? Well, he smiled at me and his while said he, is the friend of old Ireland's crown. Comes Hales McCann from the dykes of the band, she's the star of the County Down.
From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the County Down.
At a harvest fair, she'll surely be there, and I'll dress in my Sunday clothes. My shoes shone bright, and my hat cocked right, and a smile on my brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, clouded rust-coloured ground. Silent bride by my own fireside, and the star of the County Down.
No country bay down to Derry Cay, and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the County Down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the County Down. It worked okay after we started. Okay, you got the first one, yeah?
Oh, here it comes. The Black Velvet Band.
We're just warming up now.
And this is a warning to all you men out there, especially wandering around on the black whiskey. Stuff happens.
Our intro on this again.
You're coming in, so you just come in when you want.
Right. The little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was bound.
spent in that neat little town. Then sad misfortune came o'er me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band.
Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll with this pretty fair maid, and a gentleman passing us by. I knew she meant the undoing of me by the look in her roguish black eye. A gold watch she took from his pocket and placed it right into my hand. And the very next thing that I thought was bad luck to that black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band.
Now before a judge and jury, next morning I had to appear. Oh, the judge, he said to me, young man, your case is proven clear. We'll give you 7 years servitude to be spent far away from the land, far away from your friends and relations, tied up with a black velvet band.
Her hair is down like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. So come all ye jolly young fellers, and a warning take by me. For when you are out on the town, me lads, beware of those pretty crawlies. For the feed you with strong drill, oh yeah, and when you are unable to stand. And the very next thing that you know, me lads, you're landed in Van Diemen's Land. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band.
So there they are. They didn't wear their black velvet tonight, but next time.
Is that Mike? So Jim's over there.
Jim?
I got this mic.
Always the choreography, right?
The summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and that wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Where you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to poor wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon pure crystal fountain, and around it I will lay all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she were gone, I would surely find another where the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
Right. Well, thank you for your kind applause. And now we are going to have Doc and the Rev. All good?
All good. I'm just going to move this just forward.
Oh, sure. No, we'll get it.
Out of the way over here. I think yours is off as well. Yeah. Maybe we should just move over here. We need one of those like revolving turning stages, right?
Yes, next stop.
Here we go. Thank you.
Okay, so you've been taking it easy long enough here, and we're going to put you to work, and we're going to teach you the chorus. We're going to ask you to join the chorus. Terrence is going to lead us in this, but the good news, it's not Gaelic. So you're not going to have to learn anything too complicated. Universal language, it's la la la. So it goes something like this.
La 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 la.
So
That's your bit.
now it's your turn. Let's give that a try. So sing loud so we can hear you.
1,
So-
2, 3, 4. La 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 la.
You got to do, I can't hear you. Just one more time. You got to really belt it out. Just imagine you're at the pub and sing like that. One more time. Let's
All right,
try it.
1, 2, 3, 4. La 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 la.
Wow, that's, you got it. You
All right.
got it.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
All right.
So whenever you're
So,
ready.
we introduce a song? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the little song called Galway Girl, you might have heard it. Galway Girl. Well, I took a stroll on the old long walk on a day. I met a little girl and I started to talk on a grand soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do when her hair is black and her eyes are blue? And I knew right then I'd be taking a twirl around a Salt Hill prom with a Galway girl. La 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 la. Oh, we were halfway there and the rain came down on a day. Up to a flat downtown on a grand soft day. And I ask you, friend, what's a fella to do? Because her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. La 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 la. When I woke up, I was all alone on a day. A broken heart and a ticket home on a grand soft day. And I ask you now, what would you do when her hair was black and her eyes were blue? I've traveled around all over the world. Well, and ain't ain't nothing like a Galway girl. La 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 la. La 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 la. Shall I have a go?
We'll have a, yeah.
All right. So
Just before we start that one.
they bullied me into this.
He's saying we bullied him into this. Before we start this one, should be just pop out here. Just give me a second. There we go. Before we begin this one, before Terrence introduces it, I know it's customary to always give appreciation to the people who make this this event possible at the end. And so sometimes I think it's nice to recognize them right now. And one thing I'd like to bring to your attention, you're going to notice the lovely decorations that we have here. And I wanted to show you, Terrence, I'm going to move you out of the way. You're center stage long enough. We're going to slide you over here. And he's my husband. I can say that kind of thing to him. This is actually hand-drawn and hand-painted. And we've had some ladies in here that are working really hard to make everything look so lovely. And I'm just going to embarrass them. One of them is not here this evening. That's Marion Crunwell. So thank you to Marion. Sharon Slingsby, please stand up. And Gwen Irving, please stand up, Gwen. Thank you so much for making this environment, our space, so very jolly and just adding to the festivities. The other persons that I would like to thank are the other leprechauns. If you turn around back here, you're going to see these ladies tirelessly. They're in the kitchen. They're prepping everything. So thank you. I see Liz and Linda. And Doris is back there. And I know there are many more that make this just make this event. I know there are people that come in tomorrow and tidy up, and I can see over here. Please stand up for us. Yeah, I'm pointing to you as well, Tony. There we go. It's wonderful to recognize the people who are behind the scenes, and we don't always see them. We see the ones that are up here. So thank you. And of course, Johnny Mack, I don't know where he's disappeared to, but he lines up all the talent tirelessly, and that's wonderful. Just one other person, Spencer, who is on our sound here. So if we don't sound very good, we'll say Spencer's. I'm kidding, Spencer. You're doing an amazing, amazing job. Thank you. And to Kate Hawkins, who is dancing for us this evening. Kate, it just is lovely. Absolutely, absolutely lovely. And I would be remiss without saying, Terrence, thank you for setting up our lighting and doing our live streaming. So thank you. Well done. Multi-talented. Thank you. Anytime. Okay. All right. So I'll let you introduce this one if you'd like.
Yeah, so it's the first time I've played this, not literally, but in front of an audience. It's usually sat on the edge of the bed. Let's see how it goes. You know that, I think you know the song.
Join us as you will.
In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. As she wheeled her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure was no wonder, so were her mama and papa before, as they wheeled their barrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now a ghost wheels the barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
Time for Penny Ann.
Introduction?
From me?
Yes.
Well,
Come
All
on.
right, no microphone, but I can do it. This is Penny Ann Boatlang, one of the best storytellers in this town, if not beyond. I'm extremely pleased that she elected to come for another night to Friday Night Live, so you won't believe where this is probably all going.
You know, John would say all those nice things about me, even if I wasn't paying him. This is not the story I had originally selected. I had another one all set and ready to go. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, look out.
As I was saying, I had another one all set and ready to go. But I got to thinking about how unfortunate it was that I didn't have a story that mentioned St. Patrick's Day or the Irish in some way to fit in with the theme of the evening. And then I thought, hold on, yes you do. Many years ago I wrote a novella about an Irish family, and there was a scene in it that I thought would make for a good reading. The only problem was, I got this brilliant idea yesterday. And I gotta tell you, there's nothing like the last minute change of plans to get your heart pumping. Thank you. The name of the novella is Drowning in the Air, and part of it was published in a science fiction magazine in Australia, of all places. It's written in the male voice, and I must warn you that some of the language is a little salty because it's written in the male voice. This is going to be a bit of a shock to those of you who have only ever heard me preach. Brace yourselves. Drowning in the Air. All during my growing up, whenever I would introduce myself to anyone, I would tell them proudly that I was Stuart McCallum's younger brother, Kevin. And if they knew Stuart, and in our little town, who didn't, they would smile and nod and say something like, Stuart McCallum, you say, oh, he's a fine lad, he is, and you're his brother. And I would stand a little straighter and puff out my underdeveloped chest and say, that's right, Stuart's brother. And some of the approval everyone lavished on him would spill over onto me just because I was kin. Being 3 years older, Stuart was, of course, all-knowing, almighty, and in my eyes at least, all good. Admiration, hero worship, puny terms for what I felt for my brother. Bless me, Father, for I have committed the sin of idolatry. Pure and simple, I adored him. So did Dad. To hear him talk, you'd think the sun rose and set on Stuart, and he never tired telling folks of his oldest son's accomplishments. How he'd tossed him into Catfish Bay when he was 6 years old, and that kid just started swimming like he'd been born to it, swear to God. How he caught his first fish at 7.5. Damn, catfish was bigger than he was. And how he'd picked off his first squirrel with a BB gun when he was 12. Got him through the chin. Never seen a kid shoot like that, not many grown-ups neither. While I happily bathed in the reflected glory of Stewie's super abilities, Stewie modestly brushed aside all compliments. It was a lucky shot, Dad. I don't even think I had my eyes open when I squeezed the trigger. But one incident, more than any other, set Stuart firmly in place as Dad's fair-haired boy. He had just turned 14, I was 11, and we were off on our first duck hunting expedition, together with Dad and Dad's brother Orrin, the proprietor of the sporting goods store in Venture Mills. Dad bought both his hunting guns from Uncle Orrin at a sizable discount, I might add. A 12-gauge pump-action shotgun, which he favored, and a .22 single-shot Winchester, which most of the time sat unloaded in a corner of the kitchen. It was the .22 he presented to Stuart on his birthday, and I'll never forget the look on Stewie's face. Jaw swinging wide, eyes bulging out of their sockets. You'd think he'd just been handed the keys to the kingdom. He couldn't speak for a moment, just kept running his fingers over the polished cherrywood stock and gleaming metal fittings. "Thanks, Dad," he breathed at last. Dad gave him a hearty clap on the back, but Mum's hand fluttered nervously around her throat as she chewed the corner of her lip. "But are you sure, Sean?" she asked. "He's only 14 after all, and—" "Hush now, Mother, let him be. He's shown what he can do with the BB gun. Time to prove himself with a man's weapon." "Well, all right," she conceded reluctantly, "but Stuart promised me you'll be extra careful with that thing." He smiled at her reassuringly. "Don't worry, Mum. I'll be careful. Promise." Then he leaned over to me and whispered conspiratorially, "Psst, kid, want to buy a BB gun? I knows where yous can get one on the cheap." And then it was my jaw dropping open and my eyes going pop. The very next day, Uncle Orrin stopped by to let us know he'd be going duck hunting on Saturday and was looking for some fine, strapping specimens of manhood to accompany him to the marsh. And did we know of anyone fitting that description who might be interested? Well, he didn't need to ask twice. I announced I'd be bringing my new BB gun, and Stewie said he guessed it would be a good chance to try out the .22, but Uncle Orrin shook his head. "A rifle like that's for sitting games, son, not birds on the wing. For that you need a shotgun." But Stewie was not to be discouraged. "I might still spot a rabbit or a squirrel on the way back," he said, "and I could break it in then." Dad and Orrin exchanged a look. "You might at that," Orrin said. "And if your dad and I crap out on the ducks, it'll be up to you to save our manly dignity and come home with something for the table." "Deal," Stewie agreed. And so it was. Saturday found us, Dad, Stewie, me, Uncle Orrin, and Uncle Orrin's dog Bullet, all shivering and hunkered down among the sedge grass and bulrushes, watching the sky pink up in the east, waiting for the ducks to show themselves and give our lives some meaning. Strong wind gusts stirred the reeds around us, giving us cover for some whispered conversation. Dad kicked things off, as he usually did, by denigrating Orrin's dog. Bullet was a mongrel, no doubt about that, but somewhere in that hodgepodge of questionable pedigree, there must have been a lab, the way that mutt took to water. And all Orrin ever had to say was, "Bullet, where's my gun?" And Bullet would start wagging his tail so frantically, you'd swear the whole ass end of the dog was just going to split apart and go flying off in two directions. Bullet lived for the hunt, but even more for his master. If by chance Orrin took down, say, a woolly mammoth, you can bet Bullet would have tried to retrieve it for him. "Now, what'd you bring that mangy beast along for?" Dad asked his brother, and Bullet looked back over his shoulder at the two of them, panting happily, as though to indicate he knew he was the topic of their conversation, and took no offense. Uncle Orrin had one of the best deadpan faces I'd ever seen, and he put it on now to answer his brother. "So you were planning to walk across the water and retrieve the ducks yourself, were you, Jesus?" Dad pursed his lips to keep from smiling, but laughter crinkled up the corners of his eyes. He blew on his fingers to warm them a bit before loading his shotgun. Uncle Orrin did the same, dropping a couple of shells into his double-barrel 10-gauge. Then we waited some more, the ducks seemingly reluctant to emerge from their resting places. "You think we got time for a quick cup of coffee?" Dad asked, each word pursued by a white ghost of breath. Orrin raised an eyebrow. "You're telling me there's coffee in your thermos?" "I'm telling you there's something in my thermos. You could call it coffee if you like." Stewie and I glanced at each other and chuckled soundlessly, relishing this good-natured sparring, the preferred method of communication between Dad and his brother. All right then, this morning we'll call it coffee. And in answer to your question, no, we don't have time. Here they come. As if by some prearranged signal, a flock of canvasback, maybe a dozen, waddled out of their hiding places, prim and matronly as schoolmarms, before gliding with surprising grace to the middle of the marsh's open water. "Will you look at the size of them?" Dad whispered. "Some good eating there," Orrin agreed. "Now look lively, it won't be long." The ducks, however, seemed in no hurry to depart. They paddled around contentedly, performing what I took to be their morning ablutions, greeting one another with that curious buzzing quack of theirs, oblivious to the fate waiting for them in the reeds. "Come on, get a move on," Dad muttered after about half an hour. "From your lips to God's ear," Orrin replied, and again, as if by common agreement, the whole flock stretched out their wings and took to the air. The men readied their guns, sliding the safeties off without looking, their eyes riveted on the raucous birds winging their way straight for us. I swung the BB gun up to my shoulder and tried to get Stuart to look at my heroic pose, but he just sat there, rifle across his lap, waiting. Suddenly, and for no good reason I could discern, Uncle Orrin lowered his gun and turned his head this way and that as if he were looking for something. "Holy Mother of God," he said, his voice just barely audible. "What's happened to the wind?" The breeze that had been blowing steadily all morning long died away to nothing the instant the ducks lifted off from the water. With no resistance to hold them back, they were climbing high and fast and could possibly be out of range before they got over to our position. "Come on, Blessed Lady," Orrin prayed, snugging the gun butt against his shoulder again. "Just a little breeze is all I'm asking. Just keep 'em down a minute longer." But 100 yards away, the birds were already a good 50 yards in the air and rising rapidly. "Orrin," Dad said. "Just a little breeze, Blessed Lady. Orrin, a few more seconds, you darling Mother of Christ, you. Orrin!" Our uncle shot a quick look at his brother, then snapped his eyes back to the flock, which by now was almost upon us and at least 60 yards in the air. I could see his jaw muscles flexing like he was biting down on something hard. "God damn it all to hell," he said, not trying to keep his voice quiet. "I'm going for it anyway." Dad nodded to him once, and together they stood, took aim, and unleashed 5 seconds of hell that shattered that breathless morning. They emptied their guns into the flock, Dad getting off all 3 of his shots in rapid succession, Uncle Orrin's monster blasting twice and bucking hard enough to turn him halfway around each time. The air smelled like firecrackers. And in the sudden, ringing silence that followed, the taunting cries of the ducks could be heard far, far above us. Not so much as a feather floated to the ground. "Sean," Uncle Orrin said flatly, "I could use some of what's in your thermos now." "Aw, it was worth a try, Orrin. Just bad luck about the wind is all." Dad didn't see what happened next, but I did. While he and Uncle Orrin consoled each other and cussed out all manner of waterfowl everywhere, the phrase "devil's own spawn" repeated more than a few times, Stewie stood up behind them, his eyes fixed on a patch of sky and the lone canvasback flapping through it on its way to catch up with the rest of the flock. Then everything slowed down to dream time. Without taking his eyes off the duck, Stewie slipped his hand into his pocket and pulled out 2 shells. The first he inserted between his front teeth, a ritual he would perform every time he readied his rifle for firing. This was his backup shot in case the first missed. The second shell he slid into the breech. At the noise of the bolt locking into place, both Dad and Orrin turned around. They watched as Stewie drew a bead on the duck. Then Dad said, "No, son, don't bother. He's low but too far away and climbing fast. You haven't the proper gun for it." Stewie held his breath and sighted the gun a little ahead of the bird. "Now that's just going to be a waste of perfectly good ammunition." It was an impossible shot. But at the crack of the rifle, our heads all jerked up at the same time, our eyes clamped on that lone duck. Nothing happened. The duck just kept flapping away as others had before it. Then it faltered, recovered, and faltered again. It tumbled, rolled, and spun, plummeting to earth in a long, languorous spiral that seemed to take forever to unwind. A soft splash, and it was over. It was perfect geometry, a flawless confluence of lines, vectors, arcs, and angles ending in a lethal intersection. It was pure poetry, a hymn to desire, triumph, blood, and death. It was intuition. It was innate skill. It was a good guess. It was the luck of the Irish. It was all the stars in perfect alignment. It was miraculous. Bullet whined and strained against his collar where Uncle Orrin held him fast. Orrin looked down at the anxious mutt as if he couldn't quite remember what exactly he was supposed to do next. Then he shook his head to clear the cobwebs and released Bullet's collar. But before he could get the word retrieve all the way out of his mouth, Bullet had already exploded into the water and was halfway across the pond. We all stood there a minute, trying to wrap our brains around what we'd just witnessed. Stewie slowly took the shell from between his teeth and slipped it back into his pocket. In his whole life, he would never need to use that second shot. His eyes were far away, and I had the oddest sensation he'd left us and had yet to return from wherever he'd gone. Dad, on the other hand, he threw his head back and let out a whoop such as I had never heard before. "Son of a bitch, what a shot! Son of a bitch!" Still holding his shotgun in one hand, he shook Stewie's shoulder with the other, not noticing his son's unresponsiveness. "What have we got in this family?" he crowed. "Damn me if it isn't a crack shot. Son of a bitch!" Bullet set some sort of dog paddle speed record retrieving the bird and baptized us all in a jubilant spray after receiving a pat on the head and a "good dog" from Orrin. An idiotic grin split my face ear to ear, and I felt as elated as if I'd been the one who'd made that incredible shot. I patted my brother on the back and asked him, "How'd you do it, Stu?" Looking into his eyes, I actually saw him come back to me. He smiled, shook his head, and shrugged. "Orrin!" Dad shouted. "Orrin! What do you think of this crack shot we got here? Did you ever see the like?" Our uncle turned around slowly, the duck in his right hand, and for a moment I thought it was still alive, the way it trembled. "Sean," he said in a strange voice, "come look at this." And he held out the bird to us. The eyes were missing. Stuart had blown the eyes out of a bird on the wing. with a rifle at 200 yards. Thank you.
I guess I get to sit down. It's intermission time, and there's several non-harmful beverages and delightful desserts back there in the corner, and probably a jar to receive your donations. So we'll take a little break. I hope you can get guidance on where the washrooms are from the people at the in the kitchen, and we'll see you back here in 20 minutes or so.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the first half of our show this evening. There's now going to be a short intermission, 20 minutes, and then coming up we have, I think, some Irish dance, and that will be Kate. She'll be hopefully dancing for us. There will be Dave Wilson, and then Johnny Mack singing a trio of Irish songs. And that will wind up the evening. I'm looking at the clock, it's 8:20, so we've got about 40 minutes left. After the intermission there'll be 20-25 minutes of the show, and then that will conclude the evening. So if you're live streaming, thanks for joining us. We really value our online listeners and viewers, and there'll be more shows like this coming up, Friday Night Live, and some other surprises. So keep heads up. We'll send you reminders when new shows are planned, and I'm going to step off the mic shortly, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
You.
And John, it was Rod's birthday yesterday.
I know. We were going to give him some of that black whiskey, but I figured he might not make it today. But that's correct. We should mark Ron's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ronald. Happy birthday to you. Ron got the King's Coronation Medal. Where? Are we hiding it at home? We don't wear it out in public? No. Oh well. Congratulations.
Well, welcome back to the show, the second half of our Friday Night Live coming up, and next we have Dave Wilson.
All right, now we get an opportunity to see Kate do her thing. She was kind enough to accompany us and cover up all our little mistakes by getting you to watch her, but now she gets it all on her own. Kate Hawkins with a little Irish dance. Thank you, Kate. And now, coming up to put some song to all that beautiful rhythm is Dave Wilson.
Thank you, John. That's all right. So as you may have heard, my name's Dave Wilson. And I'm very happy to and feeling very gracious for being here for the first time. Thanks for bringing me here, John. Wherever you are, he's probably. Oh, I thought you were under the floor, maybe. All right. He's just right there in the back of my mind. So, this first song I'm going to sing for you is an Irish song. Now, it's not a traditional Irish song. It is to me. I've known it since I was born. This is a song that came from 1966, I do believe, and it was written by a guy with a hat just like mine. He's still writing songs to this day, or at least last year he released some music. He's in his 80s now. His name is Donovan. We got some Donovan fans here tonight? Oh, good. All right. Well, we'll get started then. This song is called Catch the Wind. I'm going to tune my guitar. Alright. And a couple of stinkers in here. I don't normally take my first mulligan on the first song. I think I get one more, right? And then I gotta add a point. Okay. In the chilly hours and minutes of uncertainty, I long to be in the warm hold of your loving mind, to feel you all around me and to take your hand along the sand. But I may as well try and catch the wind. When sundown pales the sky, I wanna hide a while behind your smile. Everywhere I look, your eyes will find. For me to love you now would be the sweetest thing. 'Twould make me sing. But I may as well try and catch the wind. When rain has hung the leaves with tears, I want you near to kill my fear, to help me leave all my blues behind. For standing in your heart is where I want to be and long to be. But I may as well try and catch the wind. but I may as well try and catch the wind. Thank you so much. Now, these next few songs aren't traditional Irish songs either. But the Wilson clan sailed out of Dublin for Canada during the potato famine and settled in Chatham, Kent. And we farmed for a while there. And that's who I come from. And I'm a songwriter. So I hereby declare these Irish songs. And these happen to be on CD back there. I've got some of Lauren's got some records left. If you liked her, she's a good friend of mine, and she's fantastic. And we got some of her records back there on that table if you'd like to support her, and mine as well. Keeps us out of a real job. This song is called The Gutter. Lost in a gust of polluted airwaves, cast in a sea of violent creatures, buried alive in all my despair in a schoolhouse that's governed by demented teachers. Left out back, wounded, unwanted, in a tin roof shack filled with fingernail clippings falling in my skull. Whenever I want, but wherever I go, I can still hear the dripping. Prison that's filled up with friends and lovers. They sing songs of praise for the time they've been given. Rainy day music washed up in the gutter for the rats and the cats and the critters who listen. Who will listen? Critters are ugly and nasty and mean. They're wicked and hungry and longing for warmth. They fill up the night. Their eyes, how they gleam from the cavalry headlights. They fall on their swords. Thank you. All right. Now, Johnny, you still back there? Hey. No, you said 4 or 5? 4? All right. Well, was that only 2? Okay, good. All right. right. No, well, I'm not sure which song to sing, and now I'm going to end with a real Irish sailor song, and I'm gonna need your help for that. And now, so for my second last song, would you rather hear something a little more heartfelt or a little more upbeat? Okay. That was easy. I was worried I was gonna start a war. All right. This is a song that I wrote at my kitchen table. It's where I do most of my work.
Go the only way I know. These are my shoes, these are my clothes. I won't pick it up, I don't know where it's been. I'll go out and see what I can find. Already knew I had in mind. I'll retrace my steps to where my feet will fit. And oh, I've come a long way from home. I'm not out of the woods. I'm wondering if I should take shelter from the sunshine on my toes. I'm not out of the woods. I'm wondering if I could build me a fire and burn my holy clothes. Burn my holy clothes. I go the only way I'm told. My hands are heavy, can't let go of knowing everything will turn out fine. I'm not superstitious, thought that good luck, a house, 2 dogs, a woman I love, in total entertainment all the time. And oh, I've come a long way from home. I'm not out of the woods. I'm wondering if I should take shelter from the sunshine on my toes. I'm not out of the woods. I'm wondering if I could build me a fire and burn my holy clothes. Burn my holy clothes. Now and then my hands get numb. I lay down everything I've done. Is this all that I can do? Is this all that I can do? Blood and bone aren't built to last, and I'm scared it's all I'll ever have. Is this all that I can do? Is it all that I can do? Oh, I've come a long way. Oh, I've come a long way. Oh, I've got a long way to go. I'm not out of the woods. I'm wondering if I should take shelter
Thank you so much. Well, if you'd like to take that home with you, it's right in the back. And if you're, so Lauren's are $6. Hers is a single. Mine's $10 for 5 songs. So it's $6 for the first song and $1 a song after that. What a deal, huh? All right. Now, John said I could play one more song, and how could I resist? So, this is a song. You ever heard of the Irish Rovers? Oh, you know what to do then. All right. So, in true Irish Rover fashion, I never got to see him live, but I watched him on YouTube. So I feel like I was there. We're gonna see. There's a green line between the room. There's 2 sections, and you got less people on your side, so you really gotta give her. You ready? I don't know where the front rows went, but you might have a gripe with them later if you. So this section sings "Way Hey." This section, "Up She Rises." And everybody's got to clap their hands and stomp their feet. Now, I'm going to get it started, but I got to play the guitar. And I've been stomping my feet really hard all night, and I'm going to leave it to you. So here we go. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning. You got it? What should you do with a drunken sailor? What should you do with a drunken sailor? What should you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him early in the morning. Put him in the bed with a captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with a captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with a captain's daughter early in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. Early in the morning. Thank you. My name's Dave. I'll be in the back.
And thank you, Dave. And I'm sure glad I missed that boat. Anyway, and we're going to move right along because I think we're overtime. So I'm just going to do a couple of tunes. I'll take my hat off. She'll know I'm serious. That's what you get for being your own roadie. Can you hear me through these? I guess so. If you could hear Dave. Okay. I think it's very essential to remember that not every Irish tune is 50 years or more. We've had some great artists come out of Ireland recently. At least I think they're recent. You may not. And I'm thinking in particular of Van the Man, Van Morrison. And if you guys want to help out on this, you're more than welcome. Down in the hollow, playing a new game. Skipping and a running, baby. Skipping and a jumping. In the misty morning, our hearts were thumping with you. A brown-eyed girl. Say you, my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened to Tuesdays and so slow? Going down that old mine with a transistor radio. Stumbling in the sunlight, laughing behind the rainbow's wall. In the misty morning, along the waterfall with you, a brown-eyed girl. I say you, my brown-eyed girl. When we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la, la-da-da-da-dee-da, just like that. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, la-da-da-da-dee-da, la-dee-da. So hard to find my way now that I'm on my own, and I saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. If you could cast your memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I come thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, a brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. So hard to find my way now that I'm on my own, and I saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. If you could cast your memory back there, Lord. Sometimes the memories come thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you. Do you remember we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-da-da-da-dee-da. Let's hear it. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-da-da-da-dee-da. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-da-dee-da. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-da-da-da-dee-da. Thank you. Now I think we're getting time signals here. It's probably about time. And so I'm sure you can help us with this one. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, and when the valley's hushed and white with snow. Yes, I'll be here in springtime or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when you come and all the flowers are dying, and if I'm dead, and dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear those soft you tread upon me, and still my dreams will warmer, sweeter be. And if I will not fail to tell you that I love you, I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. Thank you, and thank you for coming out tonight. I think this is going to wrap up our Friday Night Live at the Christian Ed building here. But thank you to Spencer. Thank you to Terrence. I mean, we had to persuade Terrence not to buy a bunk bed so he could stay overnight here. So he's going to go home, he promises.
Well, I know we all enjoyed Kate's dancing, and I have a note from her mom. Tell me, Mom, that's it. So Kate and the Arden Dancers will be at the Legion in town Monday at 5. I saw Kate's troupe last year, and don't miss it. They're wonderful. So now, my friends, thank you. Thank you, Johnny Mack. Thank you to all of you who are here today, who are watching online, who continue to support us with such faithfulness and such kindness. I can't think of a better way to send us all off than the Irish blessing. So join me in this prayer. May the road rise to meet you.
May the wind be always at your back, and may the sun shine warm upon your face, the rains fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
And that brings us to the end of another Friday Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all our online listeners. We cherish you, and we look forward to you joining us in the near future for another Friday Night Live. Have a good night. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.